which is the neighborhood surveillance video. You'll hear that the timestamp is off, so we've put the correct time on the video that you see in the bottom left corner, and you'll see that throughout various exhibits. In an interview by LAPD on the night of this murder, Jessica told detectives that she worked out with her mother that morning at the gym. Her mother did not play racquetball. Her mother was not with Baker, but you're going to hear that over the course of the years, as this case has been pending, after speaking with her mother's lawyers over multiple times, she has now changed her story. Now, I want to just make a comment about this. So this case obviously is a very difficult situation when you have a murder that happens within a family. Because as you can imagine, when you have children where one parent is murdered and the other one is accused of causing that murder and destroying their lives, they aren't always wanting to see what might be referred to as justice. You're going to hear from the daughters in this case that they're going to have very mixed feelings about their testimony because, as you can imagine, just common sense, human nature, they don't want to see anything happen to their mother. And so, again, you were told that during the course of the testimony in this case, you're going to have to make credibility calls. But I would caution you that that is something that I think it makes common sense to everybody, and you probably all know what I'm saying. But you want to keep that in mind, that sometimes witnesses will change or try to change or color their testimony to try to bring about a certain result, just as you're going to see with Robert Baker, because they have various motives. And the judge is going to read you instructions in this case.
This argument is on to the opening statement.
The judge is going to read you instructions in this case that there are various things that you can take into account in judging the credibility of a witness, such as bias and interest and motive to lie. And so all of those are things that I expect you will take into account when you're looking at the witnesses that get on the stand. And again, one of the ways around this is something defense counsel brought up in his voir dire, is by looking for corroboration. Is there corroboration for what certain witnesses are saying? So surveillance video here shows the defendant arriving at LA Fitness at 11:49 that morning while Jessica parked her Mustang. The surveillance video also shows Baker arriving 10 minutes later after the defendant's arrival to the LA Fitness. There was a text. As I said, Fabio, he's not using encrypted apps. He's just using regular text messages. So when we look through his cell phone download or extraction, he sends a message to the defendant saying, "Hi, babe, just got home, 12:31. And you're going to hear that he went to try and get a power washer fixed that morning, and then he was home working for the rest of the day. Again, here's additional surveillance video from the lobby at LA Fitness. You can see Baker there on the left. He's exiting at 12:43 and 7 seconds in this black sweatsuit with the stripe down the side of his jacket. It's also on his pants. And the defendant and Jessica leaving basically 13 seconds later at 12:43 and 20 seconds. And you can see where the yellow arrow is pointing to Baker's legs just outside the door of the lobby area. The defendant then responds to her husband, "We're on our way home." And she drives home with Jessica. And so now at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you have these individuals at home in the house. And then the defendant puts herself in a position to know exactly where everybody is that day. She sends a text message to her daughter Isabella to find out when Isabella is returning that afternoon from school, because at 1:40 she knew that Isabella would be getting out of school. After school, she had an interview at a deli, and then she was going to stop at a local optometrist in the San Fernando Valley to pick up a pair of glasses. And text me after your interview. Let me know when you're on your way. And you saw Isabella responded. So at 2:15, Delia, the housekeeper, is done cleaning. The house is completely clean. She leaves the residence. And now you have Fabio home with his wife and his eldest daughter. At 3 o'clock, wearing that same striped sweatsuit, Baker arrives at the local Woodland Hills Target store in the rented Nissan Versa note, and you're going to see surveillance video of this. He drives around the lot, and you'll see he parks to the one far side of the parking lot, and he actually backs his car into the lot and towards the front, and then he enters the store at 3:02. The defendant then sends another message to Isabella telling her good luck. Like I said, she had an interview that afternoon, and Isabella responds. At 3:19, on the surveillance video from the local Target, you see Baker exiting, carrying the bag, wearing that same sweatsuit we talk about. And to the right, what you see is he takes his car that's to the front of the lot, and he parks it all the way to the rear of the lot, where there really aren't parking spots. It's an area really that's like a loading zone. And there's an area where you can walk through, and you're going to hear about that particular lot and its layout from LAP Detective Mitzi Roberts. So at 3:24, he takes the car and he reparks it to the back of the lot, and the vehicle stays there. The defendant then leaves her residence to go to Target to meet up with Baker, and this occurs at 3:26 in the afternoon, 2 minutes after Baker reparked his car to the back of the Target lot, and she's going to run some errands so that she can establish an alibi that she's not home when this murder goes down. Surveillance video shows that she arrives at the Target at 3:29, so it basically takes her 3 minutes to get to the local Target. You're going to hear that she stops as she comes into the Target lot. You'll see the video, and appears to stop as she's driving in where there used to be in this Target lot a Payless shoe store that you're going to hear about. She stops, and you can see a grainy figure come around the front of her vehicle as it stopped there at the Payless, and perhaps open the door and get into the front passenger seat. And then at that point, the defendant parks her car to the center of the lot, further back from the store, and she sits and parks in the car for several minutes. And at this point, all the Viber communications between the defendant and Baker stop. And why did they stop? They stop because Baker's in the car with her, because they're together. And you're going to hear from the instructions the judge is going to give you that you're entitled to use common sense and draw all reasonable inferences from the evidence. Surveillance video then shows, you won't see anybody get out from the front passenger side of her vehicle because it's the opposite side of the car from where the Target camera